Thank you very much. My name is Bláithín Sweeney. I'm the founder and chairperson of a group called Rennafix group that is based in Sligo, the northwest of Ireland. Seamus McGoldrick is also one of our team members. So what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about what our group are, what we do, and then a bit more into how we've embraced kind of our environmental ethos. So like I said, we're located in Sligo. We're established since 2012. 4 trustees, 5 members. We've got over 50 volunteers, depending on the event that's running and who's available at the time. Same with most groups. Now this slide isn't as I was hoping it would be, but our, I suppose our slogan or our catchphrase or our tagline is making connections, creating support and having a laugh. And what I want to do is just a little bit go through what each of those phrases actually means. So in terms of making connections, just to kind of reflect what Iski said about these things need to start from a community effort or start organically, it's pretty much how Rennafix started. So Rennafix started as a group of friends. Before we put a name on it, it was already a group of friends. Now, that word making connections is meant to slide down, and then this comes up. So it's a community effort. So it started as a group of friends before we put the name on it. The reason we put a name on it was because we felt what we had done for each other through enormous grief was something that society or communities needed in general, which is a group of useful people, and we're happy to gather a crowd and show them a good time when you're not having a good time. So through that initiative, and I'll go through it in a bit more detail in a moment, we generated some funds, and with those funds we started supporting the community in a more private way. So we had public events, and then we started paying for people privately who were in counselling for mental health related reasons to get out and do the activities that we found to have helped us through our hard times. So anything from surfing, kite surfing, through the complete spectrum to flower arranging, knitting workshops, whatever it is a person needs as an extracurricular activity to aid their recovery, we pay for that. And having a laugh pretty much means that we run life-enhancing events. So we have had a number of adventure festivals across the county. We've Having a Laugh Adventure Festival is our flagship festival. We've had Thrill to Chill, which is an outdoor stand-up paddle, kayak, hike, mountain bike into kind of a secret location in the woods where we had an outdoor cinema and barbecue, and openly talking about mental health through all this. So that it's very well known that what we do is to support positive mental health, and we make sure that we talk openly about our mental health so that others may feel comfortable to confess. And that's pretty much happens at our events, as people come up and say, you know, I've been struggling a long time and I've never felt comfortable to say it. So even on that individual level, it's been incredible to be part of it. So like I said, our motivation is not to make people happy. You can't make people happy, but to let people know that if they're not happy, there's help out there and there is support for them. So we started with events. Like I said, our first event was held on the anniversary of Paul Rennick, who unfortunately died by suicide. And on that the first year's anniversary, we didn't want another pub, booze orientated event. We wanted to do something that reflected us, reflected him, and reflected the way we were. So we put on a weekend of adventure activities, and that's how it started, and it's grown from there. We asked people to throw in some coins so we could cover the cost of the event, and we accidentally made money. So, so that's when we started supporting the mental health initiative, paying for people. So we buy vouchers for people who are in therapy. That way they can then use those vouchers anonymously. They can go to their gym and say, I have this voucher, it was a Christmas present, whatever they want to say it was. So they can use the vouchers anonymously and get back into whatever activity is that they desire. So this helps to make people happy. The best part about it is that once a person does start engaging again in activities, they tend to engage again in their community. They start to not be scared of a social situation. They're a bit more comfortable stepping out, and also knowing that the community members that are there are friendly and open and welcoming. So in that way, you're building a stronger community, and which, to our benefit, means we have more people who want to get involved in our events, and the events have grown and adapted and changed over the last few years, which is what brought us to Eco Adventures. So basically, we were running adventure sports, and this lady that just mentioned trying to reach hard to reach locations. So there's one location that we came across on one of our stand-up paddleboarding excursions on the far side of Lochgill, the lake in Sligo, which had a horrendous amount of rubbish on it along the riverbank and along the lake shore, which we think had been building up for years. So there's some retro rubbish there as well. So we said we'll do it. we can and we will. You know, the usual problem that you look at as somebody should do that, and we're like, oh, that's us. So we put together 2 days of adventure, hiking, mountain biking, stand-up paddling. We collected rubbish, the benefits of which were that we brought environmental awareness to a group of people who might not normally engage in it, outdoor adventure people, the people who are in the outdoors. Since then, there have been other mountain bike clubs that have started doing their own little litter cleanups in the forest that they use, and it's great to see that offshoot from there. We raised money, which was, I thought, groundbreaking on a rubbish pickup, but we charged people, again, a minimum amount to cover the cost of the event, and then the service providers took a massive reduction in costs, again, just to cover their costs, and the bonus was that we made money, and that goes back into the mental health charity. And the event itself was uplifting. People loved it, there were smiles all around. So yeah, we collected over 200 bags of rubbish, blah, blah, blah. It's much easier to describe with the video. So Becky, who's been helping out all day, was present for the full weekend and put together this fabulous documentary for us.
I'm William Britton with Northwest Adventure Tours, and we're doing the biking section of the adventure today. So we've ran bikes down the river, through some fields and through the forest where we're collecting the rubbish.
Is that enough to stop the damage that we've done? Well, I don't know, and I don't think so. So how can we sleep at night with a conscience that is clear? And what will we leave behind? Only one more generation who doesn't care. Well, I think of 50 years' time, and I'll be old then, and you'll be in your prime. And as I heave my dying breath, I leave you choking on what's left. I'm so sorry, the future looks so bad.
A couple of them afterwards just said to me, you know, I mean, it's one of the most amazing places I've ever been, and the only thing, they said you have to do something about it, and I knew we had to do something about it, but I just didn't know how to. You know, I didn't know how to do it. And then just came up with the idea that we do it as a fundraiser, which I thought was, but to see what's happened today is just, I don't know, it's emotional, it's incredible.
Every inch of muck that you can see was bottle or glass or plastic or rubbish of some sort.
So how can we sleep at night with a conscience that is clear? And what will we leave behind? Only one more.
Pretty happy with how it went. Like there was a massive turnout, everyone had a great time, and they got to clean up the environment while we were doing it, and we got to raise money for a charity, so it's kind of win-win-win. Like it was a great day out, everyone loved it, and people are just begging for another one now, so I'm looking forward to the next one. I think there's talk of one, a coastal one, and some, we've got just mad plans now. Take over the world.
I said jump on the bandwagon, fly your green flag, you fashion fool. Don't you know it's cool to be green, but you make me blue.
decided to combine the outdoors, the activity and environmental cleanup in this one weekend of events. So we have people cycling in, coming in on stand-up paddle boards and walking in across the forest, and basically spent the last 2 days collecting all this rubbish. So we made it a fundraiser as well, so we were able to put money back into the Rennafix fund, and that money then goes to helping people who are getting counselling for various reasons to get them out doing activities and other life enhancing activities that we provide. Eco adventure! Woo!
Great.
My name's Seamus McGoldrick, and I was part of Blind's team that helped organise this eco-adventure. So I'm basically from Strandhill, Sligo, and I run a surf school there, so I have business in the Wild Atlantic Way, and having a clean and tidy office is actually in my benefit. I've started surfing since I was 10. I've actually surfed with East Key on the Irish team since I was younger. So I'm 30 now, and so I spent 20 years in the ocean, so it means a lot to me. And basically, the beach is a very pristine environment. It's always kept clean by the wind and the waves, and it's somewhere it's very relaxing for people to go. And obviously there's a very huge litter problem in the world. There's 5 trillion pieces of plastic in the oceans. I'm sure everyone's kind of aware of that. My own interest is in coastal cleanups. That was the River Bonnet. As you know, the ocean's downhill from everywhere. So something that's dropped in a lake or a river, it's going to wind up in the sea in 10 minutes time or in 10 years time. You know, there's a lot of tidy towns, and there's a lot of problems with litter and pollution sites inland, which is all very well and good. That's their problem. I'm more concerned with the Ocean Conservancy and the marine litter problem. So when we were going out in our recce to see this site, we just didn't know what to do. We thought, like, there's no way. We'd take 2 days, we'll zone it off, and Blind asked me to come on board as an eco warrior on the Rennafix team, because there's no boardman or chair. It's something fun and active, especially to engage the youth. And then within the first 2 hours, we nearly had half the stuff clean, so we were considering getting the rubbish and putting it back out again for the later cruise. And we basically just started to have the Clean Coast beach cleans as part of the Rennafix program, and inviting people who are already involved in Rennafix out to do it. And Olivia here was great. And I think, like, because I teach surfing for a living, so if I just get someone on a surfboard and go, like, you know, go to the ocean there and give it a try, it'd be really easy. They'd be overwhelmed by the task they have in their hand. And the same thing with people who are facing this litter problem or litter crisis, whatever. It's an enormous problem. We're only just small people. So I just think that it's tremendously empowering. And it's a well-defined goal. So if I brought someone out, say someone's suffering from low mental health, low esteem, whatever the case may be, and when I bring them to surf and I go, look, we're going to spend 20 minutes doing this, we're going to practice these particular moves, and I will coach them and encourage them from the start. So if you just bring someone out and say, okay, we've got 1 hour, here's one bag, here's one beach. If you can come back in 1 hour with that bag full, you know, mission accomplished. They haven't solved the world's litter crisis, unfortunately. But if you're not part of the problem, or if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So I think there's tremendous empowerment to people, especially if they're suffering low self-esteem, low mood, anything like that. Because coastal cleanup, in the fashion that Clean Coast promotes it, makes people understand that the change is going to start with them and no one else. It's actually great to see young people and families coming on the coastal cleanups, especially young people, because I believe if you get a young person of 10 or 12 out picking bags of rubbish, crisp packets and Coke cans for an hour, the next time they have a packet of crisp or a can of Coke in their hand, they're going to think twice. And the reason that's so important is the litter problem's so large and so real. First of all, it just makes sense to stop more plastic entering the marine environment, do what we can to remove what's there. But if you get the youth, you're stopping the problem at the source. And if you're getting the message across to people, you're stopping the problem at the source. So maybe in 20 years we won't have this problem anymore. And I think that's the most sensible thing to do. As surfers, a lot of surfers are involved in Rennafix. I think we have a special duty to protect the coast, because we people who visit the beach the most often. And I think that's why a lot of us are getting involved in Rennafix. And as a surf school, I've offered free surf lessons for the people who take the most rubbish. And that's great to have an incentive to gamify it. Maybe you could have even a bouncy castle on a beach on a hot summer's day and say it's 10 cans of Coke, empty cans of Coke to have half an hour on it. I think that'd be a great way to incentivize it. Basically, the eco adventures are a way of it's not just a beach clean, which are quite regular, but it's something. It's like what Nicola was talking about, getting all the adventure activities which are available in Sligo together to go out and do something in a very fun way. Access places which were previously thought inaccessible. Nature sometimes lends a helping hand, whether it's a bend in the river or different things. So maybe we could empower surfers who are already pretty engaged in their environment to go and do surf spot cleanups. There's a lot of surf spots on the west coast of Ireland. And also Mullaghmore, which is Owen mentioned about the Wild Atlantic Way. It's our signature point, but unfortunately there's been a lot of illegal dumping there in the last few years. So
we'll show the other video first before we wrap up.
Yeah, we show one more video of some of the more eco adventures we did over the summer, but we've got lots more planned. So if you see it, please share it and like it, because social media is a great one for getting the message out.
This is the coastal one we did that William alluded to after the river one. So yeah, so the people who participated in the cleanup got to do surf lesson afterwards, or the next available surf spot. We had kayaking and horse riding as well. So.
It's great. The group participation actually makes the whole weekend. When we did the bonnet, and this weekend, we had such fun. We had such a good time doing it that people return and do it again.
Island. It's a small island on the north of Street of Beach where it's Oriel's home turf, so you can't get to it from roads. So we had to kayak across, and there's tons of marine litter washed up on the coastal side of the island. Wait till low tide to get the tractor across to bring the trailer back over.
It's a lot of fun and joy. Like beach cleans are enjoyable, but this is kind of making that explicit and then showing people, because there's a bit of a fear of missing out. Then people go, "Well, these guys are doing it. Well, I should be doing it." So it's I think we're nearly out of time.
Yeah. No, we'll just wrap up there. I suppose all we want to finish up with, if we can get the last slide up, is that, and I've lost my train of thought, that going forward we do want to do more of those kind of extreme cleans or eco adventures. Like Shambles mentioned, Shambles, aka Seamus, mentioned there's at Mullaghmore
it's our signature point in the Wild Atlantic Way, and it's been illegal dumping. So there's some stuff in the cliff. We had free divers who will go down and get the rubbish, get the surfers in, jet ski operators. We were hoping maybe around Halloween, but the weather window didn't really show up. So next year, if you see it, we want to try and put it out, because we're only making a small dent in a very, very big problem. But the social message coming through is probably worth it all in the end. So.
To be able to clean up that area, you would need to engage in the types of activities like rock climbing, again scuba diving, even free diving, snorkeling. So it's off the cliff and it's underwater as well, a lot of the dump. Also, I just want to say that we're very honoured to be here today, to be able to explain to you what it is we're doing, and sometimes you're so busy doing what you're doing you don't realise people are watching, and you don't realise there's other people trying to do the same thing. So it's a great opportunity to meet like-minded people, and that hopefully in 2016 we may even have Eco Warriors on tour. Thank you very much.